everyone, and welcome to this video on question 1B on the AQA GCSE English and English language exams. This question will provide you with a full mark sample answer for this question. If you've had a look at the video before on how to answer this question, you'll remember that in order to get full marks on this question you need to do clear, point, quote, explain, and you need to provide the examiner with 2 clear, point, quote, explain paragraphs. We went through the skill of inference in the last video, and inference is to come to a conclusion about something based on the evidence that is given. So we discussed how writers will often use words to give us an indication or hint at something, but they will not tell us exactly what that thing is. And we actually looked at an extract and we thought about some questions based on that extract and how the words given in that source gave us a hint at what the answers could be. Question 1B, like question 2 on the exam, is all about inference. The examiners are checking that you have understood what you've read in source 1. And in order to show the examiner that you've understood what you've read, you've got to point, quote, explain. So you've got to answer the question in your own words, provide a quote, and then you've got to use your inference skills to explain and suggest what those words in the quote show. So the question that I gave you was, what does Dr. Mark Gardner think about the results of the study? And the extract was a BBC News article on the BBC News website, and it was about drinking water during examination time. And you can actually access that article at this address if you haven't done so already. So that question is worth 4 marks in total. So in order to get the full 4 marks, you've got to answer the question in your own words. So you might start your answer like, firstly, Dr. Mark Gardner thinks. Then you've got to provide a relevant quote which answers the question. And then you've got to explain the words in the quote that you've given. And you've got to do that 2 times in total for question 1B. So some of the answers that you could have had for this particular extract, this question that you've been working on, is the fact that he's very positive about the results because he uses the word exciting. He thinks the experiment is a good starting point. In the future, students may be allowed to take water into an exam. He also suggests that water should be made readily available to students, and he also discusses how he wants policymakers to change the rules in the future. You could have also said that he's pleased that the results back up the evidence from previous experiments, and he also acknowledges that students don't have that much money, so water is an affordable way of improving their grades. Now, if you look at the extract itself, Mark Gardner doesn't actually say that much, but we figured out all of those things by looking at the words that he uses within that extract. So we've used our inference skills to deduce those findings. Okay, so this is an answer that I've written. So I've taken 2 of those points and I've written them into point, quote, explain paragraphs. And you can see that I've got 2 clear PQE paragraphs. And I've also, just for ease of use, I've colour-coded those for you. So my point is in purple, my quote is in blue, and then my explanation, the bit where I say this suggests or this implies, is in black. So I start with firstly, which is a really good way to structure your answer. Firstly, Dr. Mark Gardner thinks that the results of the experiment are really exciting. So I use that quote, and we call that an embedded quote because it forms part of the sentence that we're writing. So that they're really exciting because they show that water has a positive impact in real life situations. So if you look at that, I've actually used my own words there to answer the questions about what Dr. Mark Gardner thinks. He says that he's pleased that they translate findings from the laboratory to real world settings. So again, that's an embedded quote, and that's my quote from the text. This suggests that the results reinforce initial positive results and also explain them in further detail because they translate the lab results. So I've taken that one word, translate, from my quote and I've explained that in further detail. The use of the word exciting suggests that these are groundbreaking results and that he feels that they will have an impact. So I've thought about the word exciting. Now that doesn't mean that he's just generally very pleased about them. He thinks that they're really, really positive. So I've thought about why he would use that word exciting. So that is my inference, that's my suggestions in my explanation. So that's my 1 point quote explain. Then I've gone on to my second paragraph, so I've started it with secondly. Secondly, Dr. Mark Gardner thinks that the people in charge of the examination rules and regulations should allow students to take drinking water into exams. So again, I've answered the question about what he thinks, but I've put it into my own words. He says that there are also implications for policymakers in terms of the availability of water. That's my quote. This implies that he believes that there is not enough water available to students currently and that this should be improved in the future. So again, I've used my inference skills looking at the words within that quote, such as implications, which means there should be something done in the future. The availability of water suggests that the students should have access to water more readily. So I've thought about the words in that quote and I've put it into my own words in the explanation. So you can see question 1B on the exam, it's worth 4 marks. It's actually a relatively easy question to answer. They're not looking for extended explanation. They're not looking for purpose and effect in the explanation. They're just looking for clear point, quote, explain. Okay, so this answer will be available on my website. Just head over to aceyourexams.wordpress.com so you can download that for free. If you've got any questions about this question on the exam or any of the other questions on the exam, then please do tweet me at aceyourexams, and my name's Miss W. Also, you can subscribe to this channel. There will be further videos just so you can keep up to date with the exam. Wish you the best of luck, and any questions, like I said, just tweet me.